So we're back once again with the legendary Portland Pirates. However, this team's a little bit different compared to the teams we've seen in the past because we have some true legends on the team. We got Sassy the Sasquatch, we got Mike Nolan, and we got Leslie, also known as Big Les. We've got a superstar first line here. However, everyone still is 50 overalls. When it comes to the defense, we have the former stick on the ice legends, but they're still stick on the ice legends in my heart. Basically, this is just me reminding you guys that the channel membership program is now over. So yeah, I feel like I just wasn't providing enough for the people that were paying for the channel membership program, so I decided to cancel it. I think it just makes sense for everybody. And then when it comes to goaltending, of course, the legend in Ricky Lafleur is still going to be around, but we have ourselves a new backup goaltender, Eric Cartman. Yes, you heard that right. Eric Cartman is now the backup for the Portland Pirates. This is what I'm doing with my time. I am creating characters named Eric Cartman and Ricky Lafleur to headline the Portland Pirates. But that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is about drafting. And what do I mean today's video is about drafting? Well, we are going to draft every single player available in one draft. So what does that mean? Well, it means I have to trade for every single pick. I have to have every first round pick, every second round pick, every third round pick, so on and so forth. Well, how are we going to acquire those picks? Well, it's going to involve a lot of trading and signing free agents and flipping those free agents. However, there is one massive problem right now. Nobody has trade value on this team. We have no valuable assets on this team. So we're just going to go ahead, simulate the season here, drop from the first overall pick to the third overall pick because we all know what's going to happen because this game is rigged. No, like seriously, how is it every single time I do a video like this, I drop from the first overall pick to the third overall pick? It happens every single time. It's actually expected at this point. So I think we've wasted enough time here. It's time for us to simulate the entire season. Before we do that though, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 74K by the end of the month and the support's been crazy so far, but we're not quite there yet. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Now I got some great news for the Portland Pirates. It was an 82-0 season, 82 losses, 0 overtime losses. We were virtually perfect this season. For some reason, we can't look at our team scoring. I don't know why that is. Like every single time the season ends and it says the Colorado Avalanche are your Stanley Cup champions, because they are. When I go and look at stats, I get AHL players, or I just don't get anybody. I don't really get it. Like if we go to the AHL, apparently we don't have anybody there. If we go to any other team in the league though, we get their stats. Just not for our team. I don't know why. Now, unfortunately, we can't look at stats, but don't worry because this is going to be even more unfortunate. Dropping from 1 to 3. Wow, who would have seen that coming? Almost like I could have predicted it. It happens all the time. And I'm not even surprised in the slightest we're getting the third overall pick. Now you might be thinking, stick on the ice. It's unfortunate you dropped from 1 to 3, but we all knew that was going to happen. And we all know that more than likely you're going to draft Roger McQueen, but you are wrong. You were actually wrong in that sense because one, Roger McQueen is actually dropped to like the 8th overall pick now. Like he still has medium league potential, but he's only projected 8th overall. We have a couple guys higher up. However, there is one other thing that you have to know. Having a medium league potential player and all is great. However, this draft pick has more value than a medium league potential player. So we're actually going to trade the third overall pick and get a ton of assets that we can use for the future in order to get all the draft picks for like 2028 or something. So the third overall pick's actually not going to be utilized here. Instead, it's going to be traded and we're going to try to get multiple assets for it. Like here's an example. This is Zane Parekh, medium league potential. Bro's going to be an absolute superstar. Our pick has more value than Zane Parekh. So we can turn the third overall pick into Zane Parekh. The guy we would have drafted with the third overall pick, he's probably going to have the exact same value as Zane Parekh. But on top of getting Zane Parekh, we're going to try to get the 11th overall pick as well. So I'm going to offer this package over. They're saying no. I feel like we can get the 11th overall pick. And then with the 11th overall, we're going to flip that for even more assets. So I'm giving up the third overall and the 67th overall for Zane Parekh in the 11th overall. Maybe I'm not cooking here. Maybe we won't be able to get the 11th overall pick. However, we probably could get both of these second rounders right here, and then we can flip those second rounders. I think we're working some magic right now. I'm going to trade the 67th overall pick over to Calgary. They want a 7th round pick, and I'm perfectly fine with doing that. So we're going to finesse the Calgary Flames here. We're getting Zane Parekh and 2 really valuable draft picks. We're going to simulate a little bit of this draft here. We're actually going to simulate up to my pick here, the 34th overall, and then we're going to head back because this is the player that Calgary drafted. Now, is it possible for me to trade for that guy? Because you have to remember, all these second round picks we have, decently valuable. So if I were to trade all 3 of those second rounders over to the Calgary Flames, can I get that medium league potential player? They're saying no, but I actually don't think we're as far off as we think. But maybe we actually don't do a deal with the Calgary Flames and instead the Chicago Blackhawks, because the Blackhawks have Matt Schaefer, and I know for a fact Matt Schaefer is going to develop, but I don't believe his trade value is quite as high. So 3 second round picks might be enough here. They're saying no. Do you want a third rounder as well? I'm actually willing to give you quite a bit. I forgot I traded my third round pick. Well, if I give you a 4th and 5th rounder as well, so I'll send this over. That's how you cook up deals. So we got 2 medium league potential players And in the future, we're going to flip those medium elite potential players for even more assets. This video is all about flipping assets. And on top of flipping assets, we're also going to do a lot of deals like this. The 166th overall pick, a future 6th rounder, a future 7th, and a future 5th over to the Winnipeg Jets for their first round pick for 2026. Now they're going to say no to that, but what if I give you another future 4th rounder as well? Now we got to pray the Winnipeg Jets somehow completely collapse. Alright, now I'm not going to show this because it would get very repetitive very fast, but we're going to make a lot of free agent signings here. I'm not going to show all of them because really none of them matter, and all of the players that we sign more than likely will be traded within 1 or 2 seasons. So Jamie Benn, I'm going to offer you more than enough here. I'll give you 4.7, actually we'll make that 4.8 for 1 season. You'll be traded at the trade deadline. That's not going to be too bad of a cap hit. It's going to be 2.9 million. We should be able to get some valuable assets for you. Dmitry Orlov, you're 33 years old, not really the player you used to be. However, we should be able to get you on this team. Mitch Marner's available in free agency. What's he looking for here? He wants a no movement clause. I'm not willing to give you a no movement clause or anything. However, I will give you like $20 million. Is this cheating? No, because who said there was any rules? So Mitch Marner, I will give you the absolute max I can. And what is that max? $18.7 million. You're not going to have a no trade clause or anything. I will immediately trade you. So yeah, hopefully that's going to be enough to persuade him to come to this team, even though he has zero organizational interest. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and make a ton more moves here, and then you'll see our team at the start of the year. And Mitch Marner, you better be on it. Okay, I know I gave him $5 million more than what he was asking for, but I'm still surprised Mitch Marner's joined the team. Like, we had no organizational interest, but yet we're still walking away with Mitch Marner here. So yeah, he's going to be traded almost immediately. But you know what? I'm not going to trade him during this offseason. I'm going to be respectable and probably wait till the trade deadline, even though we won't be able to trade him at the trade deadline because he's going to be making way too much money. So yeah, you'll be traded next season. So Patrick Kane, I'm going to trade you away at the trade deadline, but I'm going to have to give you a bag in the process. So here's $8 million for 1 season. I've almost used up all of our salary cap space, and we had like $60 million to work with. So yeah, not really ideal. Wow, what an absolute trader. Patrick Kane going to the Winnipeg Jets of all teams. We traded for their first round pick, and now Patrick Kane's joining them. I should just trade that pick right now. I'm not going to do that, but I probably should. So in free agency, we got some good players here. Claude Giroux, Jamie Benn, Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner, as I mentioned, we're going to be trading away next offseason. Claude Giroux, Jamie Benn, you're going to be some valuable pieces for sure. When it comes to the defense, we have a lot of guys here that could probably get us second round picks. Probably not first rounders, but we should be able to get a handful of seconds here. We have some decent goaltending. Ideally, we're going to be incredibly bad once again this season. We're going to drop from 1 to 3 because we all know that's going to happen, but we're going to have a handful of assets and we're going to have a lot of draft picks. So yeah, let's go simulate up to the trade deadline and then make a ton of trades. So we've made to the trade deadline. I got some great news. Not only are the Portland Pirates really bad, 31st in the entire league, so we actually have a chance at jumping from 3 to 1 because of course if we got the first overall pick we would drop to number 3. Then again we'll probably just drop from 3 to 5, but that's neither here nor there. The Winnipeg Jets aren't great by any means. Okay, at least they weren't great like halfway through the year. Yeah, this team went on a massive win streak. They were 20-18-4 at one point. So yeah, they just started winning a lot more games. So yeah, I take that back. Winnipeg's pick will not be as valuable as I thought. Mitch Marner only has 50 points so far, but I don't really care too much about that. He still has franchise potential, and that's all that matters. Claude Giroux, you're about to be traded away. Jamie Benn, you're about to be traded away. Let's go get some draft picks for 5 years down the line. All right, so here's what I'm thinking with the Boston Bruins. I feel like by 2029, we're going to be in a position where we can get all of these picks. So I'm going to ask for their second rounder, and I'm also going to get their 7th rounder for Claude Giroux at 50% retained. They're saying it's a little bit low. I need their 7th round pick for 2029, so I'll give you our 7th round pick. So we're going to do a little swap like that, and we just got ourselves a 2nd and 7th rounder, but there's still a lot of picks we have to acquire. So we're going to move on to our next deal, and that's going to be with the Buffalo Sabres. We're getting a 2029 2nd and a 2029 3rd, as well as a 2026 2nd round pick. I don't really know if we're going to be able to get that 2nd rounder, but if I have to throw a 7th in this deal in order to get it done, I certainly will do that. However, it's actually going to have to be a 6th round pick, but hey, we're getting some more picks, and Buffalo doesn't want to say yes to this. Nah, they're really letting me down like that. So how about instead of you giving me that 2nd round pick that has a lot of value, you just give me the rest of these picks right here. Are you going to be willing to say yes to that? They're saying no, so I'll take the 6th round route. I know they're saying no because they won't have enough money. However, if I give them an absolute steal of a deal, they might be willing to say yes. How about I take this 4th round route? Is this enough? There we go. It's a really good deal for Buffalo. We're not going to get all the assets that we could have gotten with another team, but we are getting a valuable second and third rounder, and that's what we were trying to get. So we're moving over to the Washington Capitals next. It's going to be Jamie Benn at 50% retained and Perbix. We're going to get a second, third, fourth, and fifth rounder from Washington. Washington would be over the league's maximum salary cap. Okay then, Vancouver, would you be willing to say yes to this deal? Because your first round picks have very little value right now, and I don't really know why. So can I get a first and second rounder? If we can get a first and second for Jamie Benn Perbix, we're finessing this team. They're saying no. We could definitely get a deal done. So how about you give me a third and fourth rounder instead of that second rounder? I'm going to offer this package over. They're saying no. I'll take the fourth rounder out. They're still saying no. They just want a little bit more to get this deal done. What if I turn that third into a seventh? Like if I turn that third into a seventh, we're definitely getting this deal done. And we basically just have to get a 2029 first round pick. That's the most valuable asset. They're saying no because Oliver Shillington would have to be put on waivers. I'll take the seventh round pick out. Do you really care about Oliver Shillington that much? Okay, so what if we do this? Benn Perbix, a third round pick over to Vancouver. We get a first rounder in Susie because they don't have to put Shillington on waivers. I feel like this deal should go through. They're saying no. What else could you possibly want? 2 third rounders? Do you really need 2 third round picks in this deal? Yes, they do, apparently. If they don't get 2 third round picks and this 6th round pick, they're not willing to accept this offer, but you're finally going to be giving me that first round pick. All right, Winnipeg, we need your 2029 first round picks. I'll give you Trent Frederic. We will go 1 for 1 here. You are really willing to say yes to that. You will give me your first round pick for 2029 for Trent Frederic. That's how little you value that pick. Give me a third rounder as well. If you're willing to give me a first rounder for Trent Frederic, you can give me a third as well. I guess not. We're just going 1 for 1 here. Frederic for the first round pick. Okay, so we're just going to keep on doing trades like this because Tampa does not value first round picks whatsoever. They're just assuming these picks have 0 value. So Jonathan Drouin straight up for a first round pick. They're saying no. What else do you want? Like seriously, I can give you a 4th rounder. If you're willing to say yes for a 4th round pick, I'll do it. There we go. We got another first round pick for 2029. Ah yes, a very fair deal. Faksa and Kovacevic over to the New York Rangers for a first and second round pick. Yes, we are trading Faksa, Kovacevic, and a 5th round pick for a first and second round from the New York Rangers. That is a deal. That is certainly a deal. All right, we're going to keep on doing these stupid trades that are somehow going through. I just want to mention, the trading difficulty isn't on easy. This is just normal trade difficulty. This is the default trade difficulty. I don't know how I'm pulling these trades off. I don't know why these picks have so little value. But yeah, very interesting deals are going down right now. Instead of a second rounder, we'll get a 3rd round pick. Honestly, I don't even care about getting the 3rd round pick that much. I just want to get this first rounder. They don't want to say yes because they won't have the extra salary. Okay, that's tough. I mean, at the end of the day, we can still get a deal done here. Just give me like 2nd and 3rd rounders. Just give me all these draft picks right here. Are we getting finessed? Yeah, but at the end of the day, we need all these picks anyway. They're saying no, it's a little bit low. I'll take the 6th rounder out. They're still saying no. I'll take the 5th rounder out. They're still saying no. I'll take the 4th rounder out. You're going to say yes eventually here. They're still saying no. I'll take the 3rd rounder out. Will they say yes for just a second? Okay. Maybe we're not getting this deal done. So we have a little bit of time left, but I want to pull off 1 or 2 more trades. So let's see if we can get a 2nd rounder from the Islanders. They're saying no. How about you give me a 3rd, 4th, 5th rounder? Just give me all those other picks. Never mind. We will not be getting those other picks. So I'm happy to say the Portland Pirates completely collapsed at the end of the season, 32nd in the entire league, a 29, 46, and 8 record. The team's looking incredible. Well, incredible when it comes to tanking. Meanwhile, the Winnipeg Jets, they made the playoffs, 11th in the entire league. This team was really good after the halfway point. Mitch Marner's leading the way, 65 points, but man, are you going to have a lot of trade value. Anthony Mantha, 47 points. I follow 39. I don't care about this scoring. I don't really care about goaltending. We've got a lot of assets at the trade deadline. That's all I care about. The Dallas Stars, Stanley Cup champions. But are we going to get the first overall pick here, or are we just going to get screwed again? Obviously, we know the answer to that question. We're going to drop to the 4th overall pick, because why wouldn't we drop to the 4th overall pick? This game doesn't want to see us win, and what a surprise, we dropped to the 3rd overall pick. I don't know if that's worse. I think I'd rather drop from 2 to 4, because 2 to 3 just makes it seem even more rigged. How do we always drop to the 3rd overall pick? I guarantee you, if we were projected to get the 4th overall pick, we would have somehow jumped up to number 3. Okay, I have a big brain plan here. I don't know how well it's going to work out, but we're going to try it. LA, how valuable is this first round pick? Not valuable whatsoever. Mitch Marner, you're going to be traded. You don't have nearly as much trade value as I thought you did, but you know what? We're going to get this deal done. So this is what we're going to do. Mitch Marner over to the LA Kings. We're getting the 1st overall pick. We're going to get to know. We're going to get 2 3rd rounders, one of them coming in 2029, as well as a 2029 2nd round pick. I'm going to offer this package over. They're saying no. How much do I really care about this 2027 1st round pick? Not that much. So I'm going to take it out of the deal. I'm going to offer this package over. They're saying no. They don't want to accept this deal. Well, if I take the second rounder out, I really want to get this deal done. Maybe we don't get that first rounder for 2029, but instead we get a couple second and third rounders. Hopefully this is going to be enough. I know you're saving money here, but I really want to get this deal done. I'll take this fourth rounder out. Please accept this deal. Just get finessed. Allow yourself to get finessed here. It's not the end of the world. We're not getting the first overall pick, are we? Then again, Mitch Marner, what's your trade value? It's actually not as high as it probably should be. So if I trade you over to the LA Kings, we can get the first overall pick. We might just have to do this. We're taking a bit of a loss, but not really. Because with the first overall pick, we're bringing Gavin McKenna to the team. He's going to be a superstar for us. We can immediately trade him away if we want to. Because yeah, he has more value than Mitch Marner had. So we turn Mitch Marner into Gavin McKenna, and then Gavin McKenna, we can turn you into a lot of assets. Okay, I'm kind of curious if this deal would get accepted. We trade the third overall over to Seattle. We get the ninth overall, and we also get Riker Evans. Riker Evans, I can then trade you in the future and get some more assets for you. With the ninth overall pick, we're still getting a mediumly potential player. Give me a second round pick as well. Like, if you give me the second round pick for 2029, I think this is a pretty fair deal. I'm going to offer it over. They're saying no. I'll take the second rounder out. Actually, how much do I care about Riker Evans? Maybe I just take him out of this deal and get a second rounder. So give me that second round pick for 2029. We're still getting a mediumly potential player here, but we're basically just getting a second rounder on top of that. And then when it comes to a Gavin McKenna deal, this is what I'm looking at. We pick up Harrington, was drafted second overall. We pick up Nordgren, he was drafted third overall. We pick up Malcolm Spence, drafted 11th overall. We get a first and second round pick for 2029, all for Gavin McKenna. We're just flipping assets like crazy here. Now this was definitely a steal. With the 9th overall pick, we're getting an 80 overall defensive defenseman. He was projected to go 6th overall, but for some reason he dropped to 9. Hey, we're getting another mediumly potential player here, and he's going to have a lot of value. Now this is how we're going to finish the draft off. The 22nd overall and the 35th overall over to the Vancouver Canucks for 2 future first round picks. We're going to hope eventually this team completely collapses. When that time comes, we're going to have 2 really valuable picks from them, and if they don't collapse, we're just going to hope over the offseason they skyrocket in value. So the re-sign phase isn't important. Brazeau will come back to the team. Alex Iafallo will come back to the team. That's it. Carson Soucy, you're not going to come back to the team. Those are really the only 2 extensions we had to look at. I mean, Kevin Lankinen, I guess we can bring you back. What are you going to be looking for? 6.2 million? Maybe I don't bring you back. Now I know we're a long ways away from getting every pick for the 2029 draft. However, 6 first round picks already, that's honestly not a bad sign. We still have a couple years to work with here. We have 2 more years to acquire the rest of the picks. Maybe 2029 was a bit too soon, but you know what? We're going to make it work. And how exactly are we going to make it work here? Well, we're going to make it work by signing Kirill Kaprizov. You're not getting a no movement clause. You're getting the Mitch Marner deal. Basically as much as I can give you. So here you go, Kirill Kaprizov, $19.4 million for the next 6 seasons. No one's going to outbid me. And honestly, picking up some other guys like Rasmus Anderson wouldn't be a bad pickup either. So if we do 8.6, actually we'll make that 8.8 for the next 4 years. We'll be able to trade him away. Nobody's going to outbid me, and he's immediately signed with the team. I could low-key just trade you right now, and I'm not against that. Oh, Patrick Laine, I definitely want to bring you to the team. We'll do 6.6 for Patrick Laine for the next 5 years. He has maxed out organizational interest, but not maxed out contract interest, even though I gave him exactly what he was looking for. So in situations like this, it's not really a true rebuild. So there's no true rules. So Rasmus Anderson, after immediately signing you, you're off to Utah for a first, second, third, fourth, and fifth round pick. Okay, maybe not all those assets, but at least a first, second, third, fourth. Never mind, a first, second, and third. We're getting all of that for Rasmus Anderson. Bro played 0 seconds with this team, but we got a handful of assets. Yeah, what does my pro scout know? Absolutely nothing. We're trading for every draft pick. So that guy's just spewing nonsense to us. Kirill Kaprizov, will you please join the team? Yes, you will. Okay, that is huge, and low-key, we might trade you right now. I know with Mitch Marner, we waited a season, but then his value dropped. And I don't want that to happen again. So Kirill Kaprizov, you're on the trade block immediately. So we're going to move on over to the Columbus Blue Jackets, and that's who's going to be getting Kirill Kaprizov here. Low-key, I think we're getting finessed in this deal, but we're getting Adam Fantilli, Caden Lindstrom, and 3 first-round picks. Those first-rounders, of course, we're probably going to flip in the future. I'll give you a 6th-rounder as well because they need that 6th-round pick. They also need a 7th. They will not accept this deal unless they get a 6th and 7th-round pick. Unfortunately, we don't have a 7th-rounder, so here's a 5th-rounder, and that's not even enough here. Okay, maybe I just give you another forward because we do have some other players on this team. I don't want to trade any of the mediumly potential players yet, but Pierre Oliver Joseph, I could throw you into this deal, and that will make the difference. Now we got some decent pieces here that we can work with. Adam Fantilli, Patrick Laine, of course we have Caden Lindstrom down here. A lot of these guys are going to be traded for 2nd and 3rd round picks. I feel like getting 1st round picks isn't going to be our problem because we have so many mediumly potential players. It's going to be getting all the other picks, getting all the 2nd rounders, all the 3rd rounders, all the 4th rounders. 7th round picks shouldn't be hard. Then again, we do have to trade for 72 different 7th round picks. So yeah, it's not like it's going to take us 5 minutes. Alright, so I only have bad news right now. The bad news is the Portland Pirates are too good. We're 29th in the entire league. We got to be dead last here. Luckily, we do own Calgary's 1st round pick for this upcoming season, I think. Whose 1st round picks do we own? We own Columbus's. Columbus is good. We own Vancouver's. They're one of the best teams in the entire league. Okay, yeah, those picks we traded for, not aging well. Adam Fantilli, 59 points. Patrick Laine, 53. Iafallo, 47. Maybe we can get something for you, but you really don't have that much trade value, I don't think. We're going to make a lot of small deals here at the deadline. Unfortunately, we don't have Calgary's 1st round pick. However, Vancouver's actually has a decent amount of trade value. And if they're a really good team right now, we might as well trade that pick away. Please accept with this 3rd round pick right here, it should be enough. They want a 6th rounder as well. If they do not accept after this, then Buffalo's just losing their mind here. Please accept this deal right here. Thank you for finally giving me your 1st round pick. So we already got Columbus's 1st rounder, but we got to get the rest of these picks here. So I'm going to try to get a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounder. I don't think we can get all those picks. I'll take this 5th rounder out, and I think we should be able to get this one done still. I want to at least be walking away with the 2nd and 3rd. They're saying no to that, so just give me your 2nd and 3rd rounder, and we can get this deal done. So we're just going to do some more small deals. Mantha and Orlov off to the Edmonton Oilers, a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th round pick. We're trying to get as many picks in bulk as we can. So the Ducks have some picks we need. That includes a 2nd, 3rd, and 4th rounder. We're taking on 2 players just so we can make the contracts work. They're saying no. I'll take the 4th rounder out, and I believe we should be able to get this deal done. I was going to ask for a 7th rounder, but you know what? I don't really care too much about the 7th. We'll get it later. So we got to keep on making small deals. Paul Cotter and Borgren's now going to be sent over to the Boston Bruins. I'll take the 6th rounder out of this deal, and we'll get it done. I'm actually really happy we didn't have to take that 5th rounder out. We got to get as many picks as we can. Now, we still have a lot of time to trade for all these picks, but we're actually making a huge dent right here. We're getting a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounder from the Florida Panthers. I take that back. We are not getting their 5th rounder and probably won't even get their 4th rounder. Can you at least give me a 2nd and 3rd, though? Yes, you can. Like, I'm not 100% sure on this statement, but we probably have at least half the 2nd and 3rd round picks that we're going to need. Now, we already have Utah's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd rounders, so we might as well get the rest of the draft picks here. And with this trade complete with Utah, we no longer have to make any more deals with them. Now, Steele and Rosen really don't have that much value, but you know what? I think we can get some late picks here. They're saying no to that deal. I'll take out the 7th round pick. They're still saying no. I'm not even reading what they're asking for. I know they don't want these 2 guys, but eventually they will say yes. Yeah, no, I have no clue why they were saying no. I was not paying attention in the slightest. So we got one more trade we have to make here, and it's going to be this one with the New York Rangers, getting a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounder. All of this is going to be acquired. Actually, we might not have enough assets to get this deal done, but yes, we do. What am I talking about? Because worst case scenario here, here's a 2030 3rd round pick. We don't care about 2030 picks. We are focused on 2029. So yeah, we got that deal done. Now that's going to be the final deal we do here. Actually, that's a lie. I did say I was going to trade Vancouver's 1st rounder. So what we're going to do with that Vancouver 1st round pick is send it to St. Louis so we can get a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th rounder. Once again, we're just getting picks in bulk here. They're saying no to that one. I'll take the 6th rounder out. They're still saying no to it. I'll take the 5th rounder out. Eventually, they're going to say yes, and it looks like that's exactly what they're doing here. Now, we're going to finish this off with one more trade. It's going to be Columbus's 1st round pick over to Seattle. Columbus is a pretty solid team right here. They're not going to get a very good draft pick. So if we can get all these assets from Seattle, it's going to be worth it. I'll take the 7th rounder out. I'll take the 6th rounder out. A 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounder for a 1st doesn't seem fair, but we get the assets that we desperately need. I mean, we don't desperately need these assets, but we need them for the challenge. I don't really know if a Seattle Kraken 3rd, 4th, and 5th rounders are really going to be the difference for this team's future. So before we even look at the Portland Pirates in the standings, I just want to point out where Vancouver finished. Why did their 1st round pick have so much value? They're 4th in the entire league. Meanwhile, Portland, we're 3rd last in the entire league. So yeah, there is that. Adam Fantilli, you were actually pretty solid this season, 72 points. Zane Parekh, you were our 2nd leading scorer with 35. So yeah, this team is literally bad at absolutely everything. Stolarz, Charlie Lindgren, I don't expect you guys to do anything here. The Carolina Hurricanes are winning the Stanley Cup, but can we please get the 1st overall pick? I mean, no matter what happens here, we are getting the 1st overall pick. If I have to trade for it, I will trade for it, but just make me get it. Nope, we are going to be getting the 2nd overall pick. We actually jumped from 3 to 2. Miracles do happen sometimes, I guess. Miracles happen. Miracles really do happen. We have to get the 1st overall pick. We have to trade all these medium-league potential players to get the 1st overall pick. We can't trade the 2nd overall. I mean, yes, we can. Okay, there is a way we can do this. It's going to be difficult, but we're going to do this. Okay, this is going to be really complex. Just trust the process here. We got to get this deal done. Adam Fantilli, you're being traded. No, Zane Parekh, you're being traded. So I'll throw Zane Parekh in this deal. Hopefully this is going to be enough to get the first overall pick. They're saying no still. I'll give you another second round pick. We really have to get this deal done with Philly. I don't want to trade Fantilli away if we don't have to. I think we're going to have to. And Fantilli, you're getting shipped out as well. Actually, not Adam Fantilli. We'll do Spence. Spence is going to be traded away here. Philly would have too many players. Give me somebody you don't value whatsoever. Who do you have zero value for? This man right here. Okay, Philly, please accept this. You need to accept this deal right here. Thank you, Philly. So now with the first overall pick, we're going to draft Landon Dupont. Now, you might think I am crazy. I have gone insane. No, I have not. Because now Landon Dupont is going to be traded back to Philly. We're going to get all the assets we traded away, as well as a first round pick for 2029. But not only are we getting a first round pick for 2029, we're also getting a first round pick for 2028. So I'm going to send this over to Philly. They're saying no, maybe we don't get all these first round picks. As long as we can get a first and second rounder in this deal, then I'm going to be okay with this. So I'm trading Len Dupont over. They need a little bit more. This deal is working out for us. There was a lot of craziness when it came to this deal. It was very questionable, but you know what? Everything's working out. So we're getting all the assets we wanted, but now we have the second overall pick. And with the second overall pick, we're going to draft this guy. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I just draft this guy before Landon Dupont? He had unknown potential. I wasn't taking that risk. But now that we have Hartnell here, he's going to be traded away. There's a lot of trading going on in this video. So this is the deal we're going to do with the Anaheim Ducks. I guess it's not going to be enough. I'll take Cutter Gauthier out. We're getting 2 first rounders, Mint Yukov and Eklund. We're getting a lot of really valuable assets here. You know what, Mint Yukov, we're actually not going to get you. Like, your trade value is significantly higher. Actually, how about we do get you? What if we do this? What if I don't get Eklund and I just get Mint Yukov? Okay, that works out. Because now Mint Yukov, I'll flip you over somewhere else. So Mint Yukov, we just got you from the Anaheim Ducks, but now you're going to join the Carolina Hurricanes for 2 first rounders and 2 medium league potential players. One of those players being Seth Jarvis. Now Seth Jarvis, guess what's going to happen with you? You're going to be traded now. Now Seth Jarvis is going to be traded over to the Chicago Blackhawks and we get a 2029 first round pick. We have a lot of picks now. So right now we have 14 first round picks for 2029. We're not even halfway there yet. We got to pick up the pace. So as I mentioned, we're not even halfway to having all the first round picks. So we're going to pick up another first round pick from the Dallas Stars, but it's actually going to be multiple first round picks, a second, third rounder, and Kaapo Kakko. Kaapo Kakko actually won't be acquired in this deal, but we're still going to get 2 first rounders, a second, and a third. Now at face value, this deal makes no sense, but Stick on the Ice is the greatest GM of all time, so clearly he has a plan. So we don't have too much time before the 2029 draft, so we got to make some big moves immediately. And what big moves am I talking about? Quinn Hughes, Cale Makar, welcome to the Portland Pirates. Here's $20 million per year. Yep, I will give you whatever you want. I don't care what you're asking for, you will get that amount of money. So for Quinn Hughes, it's going to be $19.88 million for the next 7 seasons. He will accept that deal. Cale Makar, you're going to get the exact same thing. And then with Cale Makar, $19.88 million for the next 7. Welcome to the team as well. So we spent about $40 million there. We have about $20 million left in cap space. Who here actually would have trade value? Casey Mittelstadt would. So Casey Mittelstadt, you're looking for a bag as well. I'll give you a bag. We'll do $16 million for the next 7 years. Actually $17 million because I accidentally overpaid. So Casey Mittelstadt, you will join the team as well. And you know what? Because we're getting stupid here, Alex DeBrincat, here's $11 million for 5 years. We'll find a way to trade you as well. So we'll go ahead, simulate a couple days, and ideally all 4 of those guys sign to the team, then we'll trade all of them away. Quinn Hughes, welcome to the team. Alex DeBrincat, you're a snake, so you won't join this team. Cale Makar, you're also a snake. Casey Mittelstadt, you're a great guy. So Quinn Hughes, welcome to the Portland Pirates, and now welcome to the Seattle Kraken, because that's where you're going to be shipped to next. Unfortunately, we need to add a 7th round pick to this deal, and we don't really have any picks outside of the 2029 and 2028 draft, so here's a 2033 7th round pick. Yeah, thankfully I'm not rebuilding after this season, but maybe I am, and I just haven't mentioned it yet. So here's 2 7th round picks. I'm sending all this over to Seattle. It's still not enough. I'll give you a 3rd rounder, I guess. So here's a 3rd round pick and a 7th round pick, and that should be enough for all of those assets. It was a pleasure doing business, Seattle. Now, Casey Mittelstadt, it's pretty similar to Quinn Hughes with you. We're trading you immediately, and now you're off to Pittsburgh. We're going to get a 2029 first round pick here, and it looks like that's all we're going to get. Now, remember how I said I had a plan when it comes to picking up that Rangers draft pick? Well, it's increased in value by quite a bit. So we're going to try to flip it. So what we're going to do with the first round pick is we're going to package it up with Brewer, and we're going to get this first rounder from the Ottawa Senators as well as Jake Evans. Jake Evans will trade you at a later date, except we're actually not going to pick you up here. We're just getting Ottawa's first rounder. All right, so right now we have a ton of draft picks for the 2028 season, but I don't want to trade any of those picks yet in case one of them becomes the first overall. I want to make sure I own it. However, I do have a lot of medium-league potential players. It's time to flip all those medium-league potential players into 2029 picks. So we're going to start with the Boston Bruins. It's going to be Caden Lindstrom sent over for 2 first-rounders and a 6th-rounder. It's a little bit low, but don't worry because we have 2033 draft picks to work with. Here's a 7th and 6th rounder. Actually, I don't want to offer that 6th-round pick quite yet because the 7th rounder might be the difference, and it looks like it is. Next, Nordgren's going to be sent over to the Colorado Avalanche. We're getting a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd-rounder. I don't think we can get all these assets here. I don't think we're going to get the 2nd, but we'll probably get the 3rd, and it looks like that's happening. Moving on over to our next deal, it's going to be with the Detroit Red Wings. Harrington's going to be sent over for a 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th rounder. All of those picks coming in 2029. I guess we're not going to get the 6th round pick, and I guess we're not getting the 5th rounder. Could we at least walk away with the 3rd and 4th? It doesn't look like it. Can I get a 3rd rounder? Are we really going 1-for-1 in this deal? I guess so. So we're moving on to the Edmonton Oilers, as we still have to get their 1st round pick, and we're going to try to get their 2028 1st rounder as well, and it looks like we're getting that. Okay, I'm not going to lie, I was actually very concerned that we wouldn't reach the 2029 deadline, but I'm not concerned anymore. We are definitely going to have all the picks for 2029. I am not worried in the slightest. By the time we're done making all these deals right here, we're going to basically have every 1st round pick imaginable. And on top of having every 1st round pick for the 2029 draft, we do have like 10 1st round picks for the 2028 draft. So we should get some valuable picks there, meaning we'll get some more valuable players. Portland's going to have a lot of elite prospects, that's for sure. So Malcolm Spence, you were a great player for this team. I don't know what your stats were, but it doesn't matter. You're being shipped over to Minnesota. Can I get a 3rd rounder in this deal as well? Thankfully, we're going to be able to. Okay, so hopefully we can get this deal done, but Montreal's 1st round pick does have a lot of value. Okay, that was actually easier than I thought it would be. I offered Matt Schaefer, and they said no, but I used Berkeley Catton because he fit their trade block, and they're immediately saying yes. So I guess that made things a lot easier than it should have been. I'm expecting a similar result here. Matt Schaefer, he fits Nashville's trade block, so hopefully we can go 1-for-1, and we certainly can. So we've almost traded away every single player on this team. Zane Parek's now off to the New Jersey Devils. We only have one player on this team that actually has a decent amount of trade value, and that's Shane Wright. So Shane Wright, Jimmy Vesey, both of you guys are going to be traded over to the Islanders. We're going to bring in one more 1st round pick here. I don't know how many more we have to acquire, but I think we're pretty close. So after all those trades were complete, we have 27 1st round picks for 2029. On top of having all those picks for 2029, we have like 10 1st round picks for this upcoming season. So more than likely, we're going to have at least 5 lottery picks. But now that we have 0 players on this team, probably wouldn't hurt if we made some free agent signings. So I can guarantee you a lot of the players you're seeing right here won't be returning at the end of the season. We're going to be flipping all these players for 2nd rounders, 3rd rounders, 4th rounders. Whatever we can get for these players right here, we're going to be getting. We're not going to win any games this season. We're going to be an incredibly bad team. However, we do have a lot of 1st round picks. We're going to get a ton of amazing prospects. We're then going to flip those prospects for the rest of our picks. The Portland Pirates aren't that far away from having every pick for the 2029 draft. We just got to make a couple more moves and then we'll be ready. All right, now I was fully expecting the Portland Pirates were going to be an absolute disaster this season, and surprisingly, we're not an absolute disaster. We're 22nd in the entire league, a 29, 28, and 9 record. That is very surprising considering who is on this team right now. Like, Brad Marchand's our best player. He has 57 points and he's minus 14. Our best player is minus 14, and yet we're somehow competing for a wildcard spot. This team has been atrocious this season, yet we're somehow competing. I mean, we're not really competing. I mean, we're one of the worst teams in the entire league, but I thought we would be like bottom 3, not bottom 10. However, one thing we can look at is all these draft picks we have. Every team below the Portland Pirates are worse than us. So yeah, we're looking at 3 incredible picks here, 4 if you include ours. But you know what? We're not focused on these 1st round picks. Let's trade some of our players away and get some 2nd rounders. So we're going to start off with this deal with the Carolina Hurricanes. Barrett Hayton and Kevin Ball are both going to be sent over. We're getting a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th rounder. So that's a lot of picks that are going to be incredibly useful for us. So we're moving over to the Anaheim Ducks. We're going to get the rest of their 2029 picks as well as Beauvillier, because we got to make sure we have enough players under contract. So we're moving over to the Blackhawks. John Marino is going to be sent over. We're going to get all these draft picks right here. Unfortunately, we do have to give up more, and if we're going to give up more, we're actually getting less draft picks because we have to make sure we have enough players under contract here. And you know what? It's a sad day. It's an incredibly sad day. And why is that? Well, there's one guy we have to trade away here, and he's a pretty good player. His name, Andre Burakovsky. Okay, apparently Cartwright can't be the guy for us. I know he's in the CHL, but you know what? I was just going to call him up. That's neither here nor there. Give me one guy who's like a 70-something overall. I'll take this man right here. So Andre Burakovsky over to the Blackhawks. It hurts my soul we have to trade this man away. Also, this might just be the easiest way to pick up a lot of draft picks really fast. We're getting a 3rd rounder from the Calgary Flames for Brad Marchand. Heinola is then going to be sent over to the Colorado Avalanche, and we're getting a 2nd rounder from them. Warren Foegele is going to be shipped over to the Winnipeg Jets, and we're going to get a 2nd round pick from them. I don't know why I haven't been doing this the entire video, but man is this efficient. Now we're getting a 2nd round pick from the Vancouver Canucks. No, like this is really making this video significantly easier. Second round pick from the LA Kings. Like we're still gonna have to make a lot of trades in order to get those third, fourth, and fifth rounders. But you know what? We're still picking up a ton of assets here, and now we're getting a third rounder from the Vegas Golden Knights. Chatfield's up next, and he's gonna be sent over to the Pittsburgh Penguins in order for us to get a fourth rounder. Heinen's also gonna be shipped over to the Pittsburgh Penguins, but we're gonna get a third rounder in exchange for him. Malenstein's gonna be the next player being moved here, and he's gonna be sent over to San Jose in order for us to get a fifth rounder in Perunovic. Or at least I thought he got traded. Why did not let me trade him? I was 99% sure I accepted that deal. Anyways, Malenstein, I guess you're going to Nashville for a third round pick. I guess I can't trade you. Never mind, yes I can. Maybe I didn't trade Malenstein. Maybe I traded somebody else and called them Malenstein. I have no clue what's going on here. All I know is we got to get a couple more assets. We'll get a third rounder from the San Jose Sharks. That's going to be decent. The New Jersey Devils are going to give us a third rounder for Ryan O'Reilly. Chris Kreider is going to be moved next, and he's off to the Ottawa Senators for a fifth round pick. And the Winnipeg Jets are going to be incredibly generous, and they're going to give us a third round pick for Brett Kulak. Of course, the trades are never going to stop, and now we're getting a fourth round pick from the Calgary Flames. And then we'll do two more trades here. Jack Quinn's going to be sent over to the Calgary Flames for a fifth rounder. And then Beauvillier is going to go over to the LA Kings, and we're getting a third round pick for him. So another season's done here. The Portland Pirates somehow were good. How were we not one of the worst teams in the entire league? Like 24th in the entire league isn't good, but it was way better than I expected, considering our leading scorer was 78 overall Tyler Toffoli. Yeah, he led this team in scoring with 48 points. This makes no sense. There is no reason we should have even been close to being this good. Yeah, I got nothing to say. The Minnesota Wild Stanley Cup champions, but how many great first round picks are we going to be getting here? I can guarantee you zero. We're not going to get a single elite pick here. Somehow we won't even get the first overall. Wow, what a miracle. We got the fourth overall because it dropped from 3 to 4, and then we got the fifth overall because that dropped from 4 to 5. Even when I have 4 picks in the lottery, we still can't catch a break. Now we do have a lot of first round picks we can work with, and it's time to trade them all. We are going to trade all of these picks, so we're not going to do any drafting ourselves. Let's go get the rest of these draft picks we need. So we're going to start off by trading the 11th overall to the Buffalo Sabres for a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and future first rounder. I believe that should be enough. They're actually saying no to that. I am very surprised they're saying no to that. Like, I guess I can give you this 5th round pick. I feel like this 5th rounder is worth way more than that, but you know what? I just want to get this deal done. With our 4th overall pick, we're going to send that to the Calgary Flames. We're going to get a 6th and 7th rounder, as well as their first round pick for 2030. That's a little bit low for them, so we got to throw in a 6th round pick or something. I'll give you a 6th rounder for 2032. I don't care about the 2032 draft picks. The next trade is going to be complete with Carolina. I'm going to be trading the 32nd overall in order to get a 7th rounder for 2029, as well as 3 other picks for the current season. They're saying it's a little bit off in trade value, so I'll take this 4th rounder out, but we got to make sure we get the 7th. Next up is the 11th overall over to the Chicago Blackhawks to get the rest of their picks for 2029, as well as 2 second rounders for this season. One of those second rounders is then going to be flipped over to the Colorado Avalanche in order for us to get a 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounder. I guess they're going to want a 3rd rounder as well, but you know what? We have that from Carolina. So here you go, Colorado. Thank you for doing the deal. So Columbus, I'm going to give you Carolina's 2nd round pick, which is the 65th overall, in exchange for a 5th, 6th, and 7th. You're being ridiculous and you're not accepting that, so I'll give you the 49th overall and then you'll accept it. It's a difference between 16 draft positions, but now you're going to be accepting. Now Dallas, I think this is pretty fair. I'll give you the 29th overall in exchange for the rest of your picks for 2029, and you also give me your 3rd rounder for this season. You really don't want to give me that 3rd round pick. Ridiculous. Now we actually have to do multiple deals with the Red Wings. We're going to get these 5 draft picks right here, but we also have to give them a little bit more because Detroit also had this 7th round pick for 2029 we had to get. So give me the 51st overall in that 7th rounder, and I'll give you this pick from Boston. No, I don't want to have to give up multiple firsts in this deal, but we might have to because we have to get Florida's 1st round pick for 2029 as well as all these prospects. So I'll give you the 12th overall and the 51st overall. Luckily, they're going to be saying yes to that. Now this is all the 1st round picks we have. The 15th overall is going to be sent to the LA Kings, and of course Tampa had to make a selection right there. They're letting me down, but we are going to get this deal done with the LA Kings. Hopefully they're going to be accepting it, and it looks like they will be. So every team up to the LA Kings, we own all of their draft picks. We almost own every 1st round pick for 2029, but we're not quite done yet. Unfortunately, we've ran out of assets, but we haven't really, because although we've ran out of picks for 2028, we have all these picks for 2029. We are going to scroll all the way through 2029 until we get to 2030. And what do we have in 2030? Draft picks to work with. So I'm going to give up our 2030 2nd round pick in order to get Minnesota's 3rd round pick, 5th round pick, and 7th round pick. Now we do have Calgary's 1st round pick for 2030, so I'm going to ship that over to Montreal in order for us to get these draft picks for 2029. Montreal is going to be accepting immediately. We really don't have that many teams left, but I think we're going to have to make some free agent signings just so we have enough assets to get the rest of these picks. We will be able to get this one deal with Nashville done because we do have a first rounder from Buffalo. I don't want to trade our first round pick for 2030 quite yet, but if we can trade Buffalo's away in order to get all these draft picks, it's definitely going to be worth it, and it certainly was. So we've made all the way to the New Jersey Devils. We really don't have that many teams. I think we're at least halfway through, and there's a handful of these teams that don't have any draft picks left, or the draft picks they do have are like 4th, 5th, 6th rounders. We pick up a couple good free agents and we'll have enough assets for sure. We will actually make one more deal though, and that's picking up a 3rd and 4th rounder from the Islanders. Those 2 picks are extremely valuable. Alright, so there's some pretty valuable free agents here that are going to have some decent trade value. One of them being Dylan Strome. As you know, I don't give out no movement clauses. Dylan Strome, I will give you a massive bag though. So when it comes to Dylan Strome, this is the package we're going to be looking at. $20 million. 20.45 million, and his contract interest isn't even maxed all the way out. Nah, bro's being selfish. Thomas Chabot, we should be able to get you though. You have good organizational interest. I'm gonna throw you a massive bag. Like I'll give you $11 million. Actually, I'll give you $15 million. I'm willing to overpay by that much just to get you on this team. Here's $13.6 million for the next 3. Bro better accept on the dot, and it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. Tolvanen, you're next. However, I can't give you no movement clauses. I can't give you no trade clauses. I can't give you any of that nonsense. You just have to accept the overpayment of like $12 million. So Tolvanen, he's accepting immediately. Soplakov, since I've learned your name, I might as well bring you to this team, and we're going to do 8.6 for the next 5 years. So Soplakov, welcome to the team. Siegenthaler, I guess we can bring you to this team too. I mean, truthfully, you're not going to play any minutes for this team because I'm going to trade you away, but you could be a good trade asset. So here you go, Siegenthaler. That's going to be 10.7 for the next 3 years. I think that's pretty fair for you. And then I think those are the only big free agent signings we're going to do. We're just going to hope that all these guys join the team. Siegenthaler, you're an absolute snake. Soplakov, you're an absolute snake. Dylan Strome, you're a good man. Alright, so we're going to try this deal with Washington. I'm going to give you Dylan Strome back, but you got to give me 2 first rounders. They're going to say no to 2 first rounders. Can I at least get a second rounder here? Because this second round pick's pretty valuable, and I feel like I could flip that into even more picks. Thanks, Washington. That was going to be one of the more difficult deals we had to get done. And then with that second round pick we got from Washington, we're going to send it right back over to Washington. We're going to get the rest of their 2029 picks, as well as a couple 2030 picks. I'll take this 4th rounder out just so we can get the deal done. But yeah, we're getting more picks from Washington. You'd love to see it. So Tolvanen, thank you for the amazing moments on this team, which is you being traded over to the Devils. Incredibly useful. However, I do have to get this 7th round pick, so I'm really hoping these 2 AHL players are going to be enough. 1 AHL player might be enough, and it looks like it will be. So yeah, that makes things easier. Up next is going to be Thomas Chabot, and he's going to be sent over to the Islanders so we can get the rest of their picks, as well as a second rounder for 2030. So I'm going to go ahead, basically just sign as many free agents as humanly possible, and then all these free agents are going to be traded away. We'll be able to pick up the rest of the draft picks we need through doing this, and then we'll have every pick for the 2029 draft. Alright, so Ottawa, you got to give up all these picks that you have. You have multiple second rounders here. You have one from the Minnesota Wild, and I'm going to need these draft picks. I don't care what you say. I need these draft picks from you. I don't even care if you just give me 2 second rounders at a time. You got to give me these picks. I'll throw Daniel Sprong into this deal, but if I'm giving you Daniel Sprong, you got to give me something back of a little bit of value. Like, how about you give me Chris Kreider? He doesn't have much value, but you know what? He can probably get me a 7th rounder from somebody. You're interested in Jake Evans. You don't want Daniel Sprong. No, y'all are just making this complicated. So here's a 7th round pick for 2030, because that's really going to have to make the difference here. Ottawa just loves to make things difficult. Now, I offered this trade to Winnipeg because I didn't expect them to accept it. 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounder for Daniel Sprong. The trade values weren't even close. I don't know why they accepted it. Now, what a surprise. Stick on the ice had the recording paused. Made a deal with Vegas. We got a 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounder. We still have to get their first round pick, and that's going to be the most difficult one. Okay, so I don't want to trade our 2030 first round pick away, considering we're going to be still a bad team. We're going to have a lot of young players. However, a 2032 first round pick, I wouldn't be against trading that. So I'm going to send it over to Vegas to get their 2029 first, as well as 2030 second and 2030 third round pick. They're going to be saying no to that. However, we do have some assets that fit their trade block, so that's going to help us get this deal done. Samuel Bolduc's going to be traded. Nick Robertson's going to be traded, and hopefully this is enough for Vegas. They're saying no. I'll take this 3rd rounder out. Can I at least get the 2nd? They're saying no. I'll take the 2nd rounder out. Somehow this isn't enough, but I think we're actually fairly close. Now, I didn't want to trade our 2030 first round pick away. However, I can trade this 2nd rounder away, so I'll give you the Islanders 2nd rounder, and this is going to be more than enough. So we're moving over to Vancouver next. Brandstrom and Jake Neighbors are both going to be traded over, so we can get a 2nd, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounder. We are incredibly close to having every pick for the 2029 draft. Now, it's kind of funny. I said earlier in this video we're done trading with the Utah Hockey Club. I actually lied. because they have Nashville's second round pick. So we have to trade for that. On top of trading for that, you might as well give us your third and fourth rounder, and then we can use those assets in another trade. They won't give me both of those picks. How about just a third rounder? They don't even want to give me a third round pick. So yeah, let's get finessed in this deal. Okay, Utah, what are we doing here? I'll give you this 6th round pick for 2030. This is more than enough for that second. Thank you for accepting this. It took a bit too long though. Now, unfortunately, I completely forgot there was actually more first round picks that we had to get here. So this 2031 first round pick, we might be trading that one as well. We're going to start with this 2033 first round pick because we have to get Toronto's first. We're going to try to get Toronto's first and Vancouver's third in this deal. They're saying no. Luckily, we do have players that fit their trade block. Or at least I hope we do. It looks like Bernard Docker does fit their trade block, so hopefully he's going to be the answer for this deal. They're saying no, I'll take the third rounder out. Even that's not enough. I feel like we should have enough assets to get this deal done. I'm going to offer this package over. They're saying no. Do I have to give up a second round pick for like 2031 or something? I think we're going to have to. So let's do a second round pick for 2032 here, as well as a 4th rounder for 2030. This is one of the best packages we can offer over to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and thankfully they're going to be accepting. Now, we're not done with the Toronto Maple Leafs yet. Chinakhov and Nick Hague now have to be traded over. We're getting all these picks right here. With this trade complete, we should be done with the Maple Leafs. So we went back to free agency, signed some guys, and now it's time to trade those guys. 2 of those players are going to head over to the Tampa Bay Lightning. But we're still not done with Tampa because we have to get their 3rd and 4th rounder still. So hopefully Joseph's going to be enough for both of those assets right here. I think he will be. I don't see why he wouldn't. And we're going to get this deal done with Tampa. Now, St. Louis, we're actually going to leave this team for last. And the reason we're leaving the St. Louis Blues for last, we have to get their first round pick somehow. Luckily, with a team like the Seattle Kraken, it probably shouldn't really take us too much here. I'll trade Trevor Moore away, and I think Trevor Moore will be enough. I have to take these 2 players on though. They're AHL guys. They don't have a lot of value. So yeah, Trevor Moore definitely will be enough. Another team we have to leave till the very end, the San Jose Sharks. They also have a first round pick. So Pittsburgh, please accept this deal right here. I don't see why you wouldn't. Then again, I'm not offering you nearly enough to accept this deal. So why would you accept it? Will you accept it now? They're still saying no. I will give you 3 forwards. I know you don't want forwards. Actually, I'll give you this defenseman as well. So yeah, please accept this. They will not accept it. I am just giving you depth players that you do not want. You don't want any of these guys right here. You'll still accept it. All right, Beckman, Mangiapane, welcome to Philly, because that's where you're being shipped to. They're saying no, I'll take the 7th rounder out, then we'll get the deal done. I know they were saying no because they didn't want 2 forwards, but sometimes you just gotta throw a package at them and they'll accept. Now this is a really pointless deal. We're trading a 4th and 5th rounder to get 2 6th and a 7th. We got finesse there. Okay, so I've fully accepted the fact that we're gonna have no picks after 2029, but that's not the end of the world because we're gonna get 200 players. We are gonna draft 200 players in 2029. Do we need that many players? No. Do we have that many players under contract? No. It's certainly going to make things interesting. Now, surprisingly, we're actually almost done with all the deals here. We've almost completed all the trades we have to. Philly has to accept this deal right here. I don't see why they wouldn't. They don't want 2 forwards. I'll give you some draft picks. I know you don't really want draft picks here, but what else do I have to offer you, really? So here's a 2031 5th and 6th round pick. Now, this is certainly going to be enough to get those 2 assets. Now, I believe there's only 2 teams left we have to trade with. One of those teams is the San Jose Sharks, and they have a handful of picks that we have to get here. We have all of Seattle's picks, and then there's St. Louis. We're going to start with St. Louis here. I don't know how we get this deal done. Like, obviously, it's going to have to start with our 1st round pick for 2030, so we're going to have to give that up. And then hopefully a 2032 3rd round pick is going to be enough to get this one done. At least St. Louis is interested in these assets. They're going to be saying no. I'll take these picks out right here because those picks are easy enough to trade for. It's the 1st rounder that's difficult. And yeah, we got the 1st rounder. So now we're going to move over to San Jose. I don't know what we have left to give up here. We do have this 1st round pick, and I believe we have another 1st rounder somewhere. Yes, we do. So we can give up 2 1st round picks for their first. Now, obviously, I'm going to want more than just their 1st round pick. So give me your 1st, 2nd, 4th, other 4th rounder you got from Minnesota, and a 5th round pick. I'm sending this package over. They're saying no. Take out these draft picks. Send this over. They're still saying no. Take the 2nd rounder out. Give me your 1st round pick. We're just about done here. So we're completing another deal. It's going to be a 2nd and 3rd for a 2nd and 4th. This deal literally makes 0 sense for us, and somehow we have to give up more. I am giving you more valuable assets, but yet I have to give up more. I have to give up significantly more. Here's a 5th rounder as well. A 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 6th. Nah, this team is wildin'. Here's a 4th round pick as well. Accept this deal, San Jose. Nah, you finessed me, and I kind of respect it. You know what type of a situation we're in. You know what we're trying to acquire here. So yeah, I low-key respect the hustle. We're going to complete one more deal with San Jose that's giving up our 2034 2nd round pick. They're going to be saying yes to that. Now there's only one team left. the St. Louis Blues. So we're going to start with a second and 2 fifth-rounders. That should be enough for the second rounder they got from the Detroit Red Wings. And now it's going to be one more deal. One more deal with the St. Louis Blues, and then we'll have every pick for 2029. We're going to give up 2 fourth-round picks and the 6th-round pick in order to get a 5th, 6th, and 7th rounder. And with this trade complete, we own every pick for 2029. Or at least I think we do. I'm going to go through every team real quick, but we should have every pick now. We have to get a 7th rounder from the LA Kings. Somehow I missed this 7th rounder from the LA Kings. I don't know how I missed it, but we missed one 7th round pick. No, that's stupid. LA, you better give me the 7th. No, they're really going to make this difficult, aren't they? Here's 2 players. Just give me that 7th rounder. So I went through every team, and we now own every pick for the 2029 draft. We have all 226 or so picks. I don't know what it is because we added Portland, so whatever the draft is, you have to add another 7, but that's neither here nor there. Every pick for the 2029 draft is owned by the Portland Pirates. Now there's only one thing left to do. We got to simulate the season. And you know what? I'm not even going into free agency. Whatever team they give me, I'm perfectly fine with. Oh yeah, I forgot. I tried to sign a couple more free agents and John Tavares said no. Bro really said no, I'd rather go somewhere else. Shout out to Gustav Nyquist though. Portland Pirates legend now. Now this team is absolutely cooked. It is atrocious by all metrics. We have Matt Rempe playing on our team right now. That should explain everything. If you have him on your team, you must be in the most atrocious situation. But we have a terrible team here, but that's perfectly fine because we have draft picks. And we have a lot of draft picks. Now, I don't care about the stats for this season. I don't care where we placed. I don't care who won the Stanley Cup. The only thing we have to pay attention to is the draft lottery results and who is going to get the first overall pick. Of course, we drop from 1 to 3. We own every pick, but our original picks still drop from 1 to 3. The Portland Pirates, even though they have every pick, somehow got the 3rd overall with our own pick, but we have every pick in this draft. We have picks 1 through 225, 232, I don't know what it is. We have every pick. So we're going to enter the draft here with the 1st overall pick. The Portland Pirates are going to select whoever's projected number 1. We're getting Jace Mink. Jace Mink, welcome to the team, 83 overall. With the 2nd overall pick, we're going to bring in Suter. He's a playmaker to play alongside our sniper. Our centerman, it's Sex Smith. He's going to be a sniper as well, an 81 overall. With the 4th overall pick, guess what we're going to get here? A right winger. Does he have medium league potential? Yes, he does. He's a power forward. Okay, we're actually going to have a really good team. Like, we have drafted 4 players so far, all of them been an 81 overall and above. Make that 5 players an 80 overall and above. No, we're actually gonna have a really good team. I thought this team was gonna kind of be mid, but nope, we're going to be really good. I'm simulating the rest of the 1st round. We got a medium top 4 potential defenseman, a medium top 6 potential forward, a medium elite potential grinder, kind of sucks, but we got a medium elite potential defenseman. We own all these picks. We got all these players. All of these players are ours. So we're going to simulate the entire draft because I'm not going to draft every player here. But we owned every pick. Every pick belonged to the Portland Pirates. We drafted everybody here. All these players drafted by the Portland Pirates. This is ridiculous. 231 different players are joining the Portland Pirates. Or at least are drafted by Portland. I can't guarantee all these guys are going to play for us. So we just drafted 231 different players. We got a ton of amazing star players. Like, look at all this amazing talent. Conboy, I don't even know who you are, but you're an 80 overall. We drafted you 11th overall, so what an absolute steal that was. How many great goaltenders did we get? We got 174 overall, drafted in the 2nd round, so he's going to be our starting goaltender. This team's amazing. Surprisingly, only 1 elite potential goaltender. A bit surprised at that, but you know what? The team's looking absolutely incredible here. Star player after star player. There is no weaknesses on this team whatsoever. Now, there's really only one thing the Portland Pirates can do. We got to see how well this team does. How many Stanley Cups could this team win over the next 10 years? Well, that's not going to be included in today's video. That's going to be in our next video. Our next video is going to be taking over this team with the Portland Pirates, a team we built from 1 draft and 1 draft only, and we're going to see what this team can do.